Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the build-up show. Liverpool taking on Crystal Palace in the early kick-off on Saturday. I'm joined by Ross Chanley and John Machin to talk about this one. Ross, hi. Look, let's boil it down to what it is. We've got Man City in the Champions League quarterfinals next week. As a fan, I could not be less focused on this game. I'm getting into it. We're doing this show. We're doing my research, of course, but I can't help it. All I want to do is talk about the Champions League and pray, fingers crossed, and they should do, that Jürgen and the boys don't feel the same way.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
I think because it's been international football, which collectively everybody hates because it's boring and it's shit. We all hate it. I'm just excited to watch some proper football again. I agree, obviously on one side, the Champions League football and the derby and stuff to come, but we're still in a running for a top four challenge, and with the early kick-off we can put another marker down and potentially go to second place for, I don't know, a couple of hours until Man United inevitably win their game 1-0, whoever they're playing. I just want to see some proper football again. I just hate international football.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Where'd you fall on it, Dad? Because
I'm hoping that Jürgen Klopp is this side, and not that side. Can't be bothered with this game, lads. We've got City next week. Forget about it.
Yeah.
The big problem is that it's as much important as the City game, really. And yeah, as fans, we're obviously drawn towards the Champions League game, and Jürgen and the boys can't afford to be, but they also can't afford to be losing players injured either. So, there must be a feeling that they'd rather not have it.
Yeah.
They'd rather do without it this weekend. But.
Yeah, absolutely. It's mad. We're actually doing a show today called the Run-In Special, which is looking at the last 7 potentially more, fingers crossed, games of Liverpool's season, and how which ones are likely to be the ones that define it, and whether it's going to be a very, very good show. And in doing the research on that, you can see this next couple of weeks is just absolutely massive for us. And you're both right, to be honest. I mean it more from a look. If I can detach myself from the emotion of it, absolutely. Look, top four, particularly with Spurs and Chelsea playing each other on Sunday, it's so important for us just to try and shut the door on fifth place as much as possible. But yeah, again, it's more just the excitement factor. There's nothing glamorous about going to Selhurst Park.
I would imagine that we'll all be scared in case anyone gets injured, but we'd also be scared that we'll lose ground in the race for the Champions League place.
This is where we are, Dad. We're at this point now. This is crunch time. This is what we want. This is what football's all about. This is when we buy our season tickets and we renew our Sky subscriptions and we do all this stuff. This 2 weeks is what it's all about. This is what we go to footy for. It's a chance to, in a fortnight, our season could be over. You know what I mean? If it goes back, no. But this is the point, and that's the way.
We'll all be an emotional wreck.
Well, but that's the point.
Well, we could lose the next 4 games, and that will be it.
Yeah, but
we're not going to.
No, exactly. We're not going to. But that's what I mean. Is on the complete flip side of that, you win the next 4 games. That's top 4 pretty much sewn up, and you're in a semi-final of a Champions League. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So
that's the 2 sides of the coin.
Well, and the good thing is, Ross, is that I think in Jürgen Klopp, the things that we fear, and the things that we fear because they're from ourselves, and also we fear because I think we've had some weak-minded players and not necessarily weak. To call them weak-minded management teams is probably not fair, but we've lacked steely resolve in our squads in the last 20 years, 30 years, whatever. So it's not unfounded for us to have these fears, but if the team feel tired, then Jürgen Klopp and his boys are the perfect team to turn around to them and go, good, you're meant to feel like that. To use that as an inspirational tool rather than a tool for the players to curl up in a little ball and hope the world doesn't bother them too much.
I imagine you would have said something similar to the players of what you just said to us. This is your crunch time for you. This is what you've worked all season for to come and do. Show us what you're made of. You've had your international fun now. Just come in, smash it out for a couple of weeks and show us what you're made of. I think the other thing as well, from a fan's perspective, is we've had a couple of nightmare results at Selhurst Park, which kind of is like, I don't want to play that game, we can just skip it and go on to the next one. Yeah. But like you said, if we win this and touch wood, we're through to the semi-finals, that last block, looking forward, kind of makes it easier for us, because then those games kind of become nothing. We're in top 4, and you don't have to qualify to go through the qualifying round during the group stages. Top 4 is much of a muchness now, isn't it? Regardless of where you finish, I know you want to be above Man United and Chelsea and all the rest, but you know, in the mindset, if you get to the semi-final, then you can take your foot off the gas. So this, like you said, John said, this is just as important as any of the others. Is
the Hodgson factor just purely for us?
Just for fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Jürgen will just see it as a really difficult game. They're up against a team fighting against relegation, who are going to battle and have some good players. You know, they've struggled this season, but they've got some good players, so they can be really dangerous. You know, so hopefully he will, you know, spot the real dangers in this and have us up for it.
Do you think there's an interesting lesson to be learned from Roy Hodgson's tactical approach here, Dad? Because look, Christian Benteke, he's been poor for Crystal Palace this season, but he's got a tremendous record against us. You know, the reason why we signed him basically because he was so good against us.
I mean, I've watched City a few times this season on the telly.
City.
No, not City. I've got City on the brain. Palace.
See, you have as well.
Yeah, I've watched Palace a few times, and they're a real mixture of bumbling idiots and really dangerous, you know, and Benteke sums that up completely. There are times when he looks like a world-class centre-forward, other times when he just looks like a dope. Yeah. And let's hope that one turns up. Yeah, but they got Zaha back from injury, haven't they? And he's always dangerous. And they always have a bit of pace, and the crowd at Selhurst Park is just unbelievable.
That's it. I mean, it's funny, we were talking about this the other day because I'm going down for the game on Saturday. Was that my first ever away? Was that game? What was it? Was it 5-0 we won that?
5-0, I think.
Yeah. That was it. Let's pray God we recreated that. I'd love that.
If not, it's your fault.
Yeah. If not, well, no. If not, it's apparently Steve was telling me on the podcast that I don't think he's ever seen us win at Selhurst Park, and he's not going. So hopefully the stars have aligned perfectly.
Won 2 seasons ago at Selhurst Park.
He's never seen it.
Oh, okay, sound.
He's been to...
You should not
watch understand what I said?
Yeah, I thought he said he's not watched the match of the day.
Okay, cool. So
we've all seen it.
Fantastic.
I must admit, Hennessy in goal is one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen in some of the games I've seen. You know, so there must be more to him than I've seen.
There must be something to do.
He has looked shocking.
Imagine they ended up putting Diego Cavalieri in goal, and he proved Rafa right. Oh my God, no. No, the thing about the Benteke, and I wonder whether Roy Hodgson will have taken any notes from the Man United game, because with Virgil van Dijk there, I'm far less arsed about the threat of Christian Benteke. If Roy Hodgson's smart, he'll put Benteke on our other centre-half, and I think that's an important decision then to be made, because I thought prior to the Man United game, Dad, Lovren was the smart choice because I thought he was going to be in a battle, and I thought that suited Lovren. Once the game kicked off, I actually felt that Matip was the perfect choice. We'll come on to preferred 11s in a minute, but that's going to have a big
you look at what Klopp
factor.
said, and I think they understand that tactically they got that wrong. Leaving Lukaku against anyone was a mistake.
Yeah.
You really have to crowd him and stop him from getting a decent header in. And I'm assuming they learned that lesson, and Benteke will at least be marked properly.
It was the second balls as well that Klopp mentioned after the thing. It was like there was no one there, and he said, Hodgson, be smart and take note. Klopp needs to do the same thing. Just go, actually, if he moves somewhere, just Van Dijk, just go and follow him.
I'm more worried that Benteke will just hit one from 40 yards and smack it into the top corner, because that's what he generally does against us.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. No, it's mad, isn't it? I mean, actually, getting back on the tactical point is that part of me's going, what if Roy Hodgson exploits this? Well, you're right. Jürgen Klopp, they shouldn't be. It won't have gone unnoticed, and you'd like to think that they'll take steps such that, look, Benteke's not as good as Lukaku, as much as we really thought he might be a few years ago. You know, and so it is. It's one of them, isn't it? Liverpool play to the best. Liverpool play with the kind of intensity we know that they can. It should be fine. Get an early lead, and you hope that their heads go.
I noticed that I watched the Man United game that they played, and they were good for 40 minutes. And then
they were really good at times in that game. They're really good,
but then they got tired.
Yeah,
and their arse fell. I think that's the advantage.
They played City and were unlucky because they missed a penalty and ended up drawing 0-0, which is a pretty good result. I think they were the first team to take points off them for months.
Yeah, I think Everton did as well, didn't they, early on.
So, you know, they've got it in them to be difficult, and that's that, and especially against us.
Yeah,
Mamadou Sakho might have a point to prove as well, because I'm pretty sure this is the first time he's...
That's a good point.
Played us.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of old boys who will look as a stick
Sakho
one in
will
the
be in the
manager's face.
stands,
Like.
sort of cheering people on.
He's been playing for them the past couple of games, I think. Actually.
Well, we'll see, won't we, either way.
Be taking the protein shakes before.
So, right, we're going to come on to talk about the lads' preferred 11s in a moment. But before we do that, we've got some amazing content going on the Redmen TV at the moment. In particular, the podcast, which is now available in video form. Me and Steve Hoare sat down, shooting the shit about Liverpool. You're making an Expendables-style action/comedy film about five-side footy and casting ex-players in the 5 lead roles. Which 5 Liverpool legends would you cast to be in your fictional 5-a-side team in order to make it a good movie? I want to hear yours, and then I inevitably I've overthought this, so I'll give you my how I've categorised my 5-a-side.
John all 5.
Give me your team.
Groblar's in goal.
Okay, got that.
He's mad.
He's mad.
He's got experience of like killing people, apparently.
It's true.
From his army days, yeah. So
wow,
cool. At least I've got one lad who knows how to use a gun.
Yeah.
Helps. For sure. Sammy Ipia, because I think every action group
needs the Dolph Lundgren of the team. Like,
needs an Iceman. I've got 4 of the nutters.
Okay.
So Sammy's the like guy who keeps them cool. Just follow my lead and just when they're all doing their mad shit, he's just standing there shaking their head at them.
Have you got Rigobert's song?
I have not got Rigobert's song in my team.
Have you got Bjorn Talk of Armour in your team?
I forgot he existed, so no.
Okay, so me too. And then he scored a absolute screamer at the top end.
I saw that. Yeah, a good goal. Javier Mascherano's next.
Ooh,
I think every team needs a little. Every action.
You send him into tunnels.
Every action movie needs a little Rottweiler type lads, like Scrappy Doo style. Yeah. Let me at him. So he's in. Suarez is in.
Okay, yeah.
Very aggressive.
Absolutely.
Very aggressive. Again, bit mad. Will do anything to win. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I've got Craig Bellamy.
Yes.
So basically,
yes.
Again, he's the scariest, actually, Bellamy.
Okay, then there you go. If you want more of that, do go and check that out on the YouTube channel. If you want more podcasts, more in depth, I'm doing one with Sachin Nakrani, which is going to be up on the redmentv.com, talking about Champions League ticket final ballots. Yeah, why people hate Jordan Henderson, and is this the end of Jose Mourinho? Because it was a bit of fun as well. So go on the redmentv.com, sign up and check it out. Anyway, right, preferred 11s. Dan, what have you gone for? Oh. Okay. Wow. This could be almost the first week. Well, actually, there's 1 or 2 little talking points here.
Well, I mean, the talking points you'd expect, aren't they? Because there's only a few areas where...
We all said when we were doing this, well, actually, Ross and I both said how difficult the midfield was to pick, and yet you said, no, the midfield picked itself, and as it turns out, we've all gone for the same midfield. Is this a pre-reactionary midfield for you to Man City?
No, I mean, that is just a pragmatic one. I mean, Chan's been injured, and therefore, if he's going to play in the Champions League game. He's played in all of them, I think, if he's being fit. James Milner as well, European specialist now these days, isn't he? Yeah. So he's going to play, and therefore you're left with the other 3.
Yeah.
There's only Adam Lallana as a possibility, and even England are not giving him more than half an hour. So. Yeah,
and he didn't really get involved in the game either, did he? When he came on the pitch,
he still looked like the best player England had when he came on, even though he hardly touched it.
Yeah, I agree with that, Ross. I think that midfield, it's almost a process of elimination. Gini's not played a lot of football. Chamberlain's not played a lot of football. Henderson probably is the only one that's going to have to drag himself through this next few days.
I actually did it with one eye on Man City, and I came up with the same result. To be fair, like you said, Milner's being in there. If Chan was injured or not playing, I don't think Chan would have played this game. Chan plays it.
I disagree. Only as much as Emre Can's played so much football for us because I think he can. I'm not sure Jordan Henderson can. I think we've seen a couple of times, like he didn't make the team against United, did he? He didn't make the starting 11 for that one.
I suspect Ender wouldn't have played this if everyone had been fit, but I don't think you've got a lot of choice.
And that's it. I mean, it goes back to what we said, isn't it? Is that no matter which way you slice it, you've got 4 incredibly intense games in completely different ways coming up. You can't swap 11 players out week in, week out and hope to maintain it. The big question, actually, and Ross and I have both gone for Nathaniel Klein at right back. You've gone for Trent. I think Trent probably most likely, Dad, but can you see a case for Klein given the Gomez injury?
No.
Not at all?
No, I'm not sure he'll play this season.
Really?
He's been out an awful long time. Why on earth would you put him in as a starter in any game?
So
you never even give him a run out as a sub.
So do you think there's a case then that, because you're basically saying Trent's going to play the next 4, or is it a case of do we put a Genie
I
in,
don't
or do
know
we put a Milner in?
how bad Gomez is.
He's out for a month.
Really, he's out for a month. Yeah.
Okay. Now that you know that information,
well,
on the spot,
and it may well mean that Klein gets a run somewhere, but I can't imagine that they're just going to drop him into a tough away game at Palace, not having played a game all season when he's been out injured. I just can't see it.
It's a gamble either way,
and
isn't it?
he's not going to play. He might even play against Everton, who knows, but I don't see him starting a game right away.
Yeah.
I don't think this game has the same intensity as the Derby or the City games will have, which I think will be too much for Klein. The other option is to start Trent and play him an hour and then take him off. But
I'd like to see Klein get some minutes, if I'm honest, because it's for me, it's that Man City away leg, and I'm not saying Klein would be ready for playing one game of football this against Palace, but I think just in terms of how the games fall, if it just means you keep a little bit in Trent's tank, because that's, we've managed him very well this season. I think we've put him in.
Maybe now's the time to say, right, we have managed you well enough. You're 18, 19. You must be fit as anything. You can play 4 games in.
But I don't think it's okay. But maybe mentally then, maybe not necessarily fitness. Well, look, no, don't pull the face, because you've seen how we ruin fullbacks in this football club.
But I mean, if you can't get up for these next 4 games, I mean, what are you doing as a professional footballer?
But we're not necessarily talking about getting up. But I mean, what if he gets the back torn out of him? He's still a young lad.
So we played Klein, who's not played all season.
Well, no, I know. That's
a gamble, isn't it?
Well,
I'd play the guy who's played a lot of games and who seems to be getting better every time.
The third option is Milner at a push.
Yeah,
Milner.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's mad how we've got this situation. We've got amazing depth, but it's just.
We've got 3 left backs now, and
yeah.
I'll put Moreno right back. It'll be fine.
No, but these are the options, aren't they? You're looking at a Wijnaldum, you're looking at a James Milner, or you may be looking at Moreno or switching Robertson over as your alternatives.
Play 3 centre backs for a game, and
well, yeah.
I don't trust 3 centre backs.
It means you're playing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure you fundamentally want to be changing the system. It's an option. Let us know your thoughts on the right back situation.
They've switched to 3 at the back loads of times in games. They haven't started with it, but they've switched if they needed it. So they've got it in their locker.
No, absolutely. But it is an interesting one. Personally, I'd like to see Klein get a few.
If that's the only way to keep Trent, on an even keel for the next couple of weeks, then.
Well, it's make or break that. But the problem is that. Again, everything's a double-edged sword in footy, isn't it? Is that great, but I'm not sure Jürgen will want to put all that on Trent, you know what I mean? Because that's you know what I mean? He's cost us, he cost us in the Man United game for a lack of experience, cost us in the FA Cup against West Brom for a lack of experience.
Well, I think it's a bit harsh to say he cost us in the United game. I mean, give a bit of credit to Rashford for his talent, to come back on inside on him.
You're right. Look, there's a chance that he does that to a fully fit Nathaniel Klein, but if he does that to a fully fit Nathaniel Klein, I'm able to go, okay, it was great for Rashford, whereas it's not. They're not. Look, I've got no problem with Trent. I really like Trent, and I want to see Trent play as much game as football as possible, but I think if there's that's the only genuine concern I have going into these run of fixtures, is that Gomez absolutely started Man City for me, without a doubt, because we know what qualities he brings, and the only other option is that we have to swap it. And I don't know that's why.
My only worry is the number of games in the short space of time. I think whoever plays at right back is going to have trouble against City because Sané is so good and he's red hot at the moment. So that's going to be a difficult area for us. Whoever plays.
Oh my God!
Playing.
It is Andy Robertson at right back, isn't it? We're going to do the reverse Alvaro Arbeloa from the new camp, where we put him at left back to mark Messi. That's what's going to happen. I've seen it. I've seen the future. Come back here on Wednesday night when I'm right and leave a comment.
The other thing with that is, if you watch the Newcastle game, James Milner he kept switching flanks and protecting either side. So there's a chance he could come in, or someone like Gini could do that job and just give him that protection, give him a break.
I mean, mercifully, you probably need it less in this game than you do, but definitely for...
But it didn't happen in the Man United game.
Yeah, true.
Which is why he got...
Yeah, I mean, it's the time of year when you have these problems, isn't it? And Jürgen's got to solve them one way or another.
Yeah.
I think he's probably got a better handle on it than me.
Yes.
So hopefully,
100%.
he knows what he'll do, whatever's best. And it'd be nice to see Klein back again playing. It just seems a big ask to go all season without a game and then suddenly be thrown into.
But here's the thing, he's fit, he's in training, he's played for the unders, so it's not like we're throwing him in. Welcome back to training. There's a game. Klopp has said as much that if there was a situation that demanded it, which is the important kind of phrasing, I guess, on that, that he could come in. I just wonder whether this is demanding enough a situation.
Yeah, maybe.
It's also a problem for Crystal Palace as well, because they're going to try to predict who's starting at right back. Because Trent was targeted, and that's been in several games. Yeah. If we turn up and Klein plays, it might be one of their game plans out the window. Yeah,
absolutely. Or equally, you probably would continue with the game plan, trying to see what level, what condition he's in. Let's have a little look then at the teams around us that are playing. United Swansea, I think you kind of hinted at it before, Ross. You can't see anything other than a United win. The only hope is that another 3 points for Swansea is a big ask away from home, of course. Gets them not safe, but it claws them. It starts to claw them out of that relegation battle.
Their manager seems to get them up for big games, though. To be fair, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, good results against us in Arsenal, albeit at the Liberty Stadium. Just makes a slight difference, of course.
I'm not really going to worry about United now. I think our big fear now is Chelsea, who've, that we've got to play them, and that would, if they beat us, that would put them within a point. So we really need to be mindful of Tottenham and Chelsea, and that's the big game this week.
I think that's you're right. That's absolutely the big one. Is that Chelsea Spurs is the late kickoff on the
someone there's dropping points, and that's only going to help us if we can get our own points in the bag. That's the key, isn't it?
We've just got a Spurs win there. Gives us, and if we beat Palace and if we can get those points on the board, I've said this a few times, that I don't like those early games. I don't think Liverpool, I don't think Jürgen likes them, but if you can somehow go, I don't care. I'd love an amazing win, because I think we owe Palace one in their yard, a proper one that doesn't cause us to panic at any point. We had that mad back and forth game. Was it last season? Season before? My heart could do with not that. Thanks very much, Liverpool.
We could do with relaxing and just letting our forwards run riot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we've done that a lot more this season, particularly against those lower block sides.
From home as well. So, but I would like to be able to sit down on Sunday afternoon, watch Chelsea Spurs, knowing that as I think there's no real bad result for us, but also knowing that if Spurs was to pick up the win, we would have a 10-point gap over Chelsea at that point, which would be
cushy.
Yeah, that means you go into Man City with
6 games,
and also you go into the derby as well with a little bit of, if they come for a draw again and you end up only with a draw, it's not absolutely season crippling with regards to the top 4 chances. So yes, just another quick mention. And so we're doing the run-in special. So I've mentioned a few things there. Obviously talking about the Chelsea game. My dad makes mention to how important that game could be later on in the season, but will it be? We've broken down the remaining fixtures for Chelsea, for Spurs, for Man United and for us, and really looked in depth and detail as to what's likely to happen between now and the end of the season, and what that means for Liverpool's top 4 chances and chances of getting further or even winning the Champions League. You know what, because we're eternal optimists. Go to redmentv.com, sign up, watch that show. It's an absolutely better. It's absolutely better they're not watching it. It's a belter. The redmentv.com, the running special. Get involved there. Gents, thanks very much for watching. Been an absolute pleasure. Drop a like on the video if you think Liverpool can turn over Woy's boys at the weekend. And also, one like is one prayer for Ross's phone, which just fell off his leg 4 times during the show. Thanks very much for watching. See you all soon. Ta-ra.